welcome back to the channel. Today I have a pen review for you guys, and it is of the Pilot Justus. Now, the Pilot Justus is a vintage pen from the 70s, but it has a counterpart in the current days, and that is the Justus 95, which was a pen that was inspired by this Justus. So it is like this one, but it isn't exactly the same. The nib on these pens are very similar though, and some would say they are the same. I have heard that the nibs tend to differ in performance a little bit. Had to think about that word, performance a little bit, but alas, I don't have a comparison. But I do want to show you the special nib on this pen because it is definitely special. All right, let's switch the shot. All right, here we have the Pilot Justus and not the Justus 95, which is the modern equivalent of this pen. This is a black pen with gold trim and a very special nib. Now, let us look first at the body of this pen because it is ridged and it feels really good in the hand. It's like a nice feeling pen. It has gold trim, as I said. It has two rings here on the cap. As you can see, this is not a perfect specimen of this pen. It's been used, which is fine. I love that type of well-worn look, and it says Pilot right there on the cap band, and then this is the clip. The clip is fairly simple. It's not like the current Pilot clip. It is usable. It doesn't have a lot of spring to it. I would worry about using this. This is a pen from the 70s, and it is definitely usable, but because it is older, I would not stretch this too much. To be fair, I haven't taken this one out of the house because it is technically not my pen. It is Brownie's pen. He is the unofficial sponsor of this video, as always. But yeah, it is a lovely looking pen, very understated, and I feel it feels both modern and classic somehow. I don't really know how to explain it. I think it's because the silhouette of it is fairly classic. If you look at it, cigar shape, and then the ridges on it make it feel a little more modern. Anyway, this pen has a special nib. It is a snap cap. Sometimes forget that. It's a very like gentle cap. It does stay on. You don't have to worry about that. And then here we have grip and nib. Now, as you can see, we have here a nib with like a slider on top of it, and that is because this nib is adjustable. This mechanism is really interesting, and you don't have to touch the nib to adjust this one. We have a Doric here at home, and a Doric you have to actually touch the slider, but in this case you just twist. I don't know which way I'm going, but there's a twisty thing. I had to do a cut because I was having a little trouble moving this slider. So it has a slider because this nib can go from soft to firm. At least that is what it said. I would say it goes from hard to wetter. I'll show you how it performs in both settings in a little bit. But as you can see, it lies on top of the nib and is supposed to change the writing of the nib. And I like the look of this nib. I do wish it was a little bigger because when you look at this pen, it's a really good sized pen. A bigger nib would have been very attractive, but it's not. I'm gonna post it for you guys. Posts deeply and comfortably. It doesn't become back heavy. So if you're a poster, it's a very nice pen to post. I don't need to post it, but you can definitely post it because it's a light pen and it wouldn't be bad. Before I show you the nib slide, which is going to be a little fiddly, I'm going to show you filling mechanism, which is just cartridge converter. I have a, I don't remember what con this is, but there's a converter and a Pilot converter. Anyway, you can use any Pilot converter, I believe, although the big one might not fit, but Con 40 will fit. Pilot cartridge will fit. Anyway, let me try to get this slidey moment on video for you guys. As I said, I was having trouble before. I'm going from hard to soft. Ooh. Let me try it again with the camera more focused. Going from soft to hard. And then the way back is a little more tight. So there we go. You go down. And it is this part of the section that you twist. When I got this pen, it wasn't twisting at all. I had to soak it because there was probably ink stuck in the mechanism. But yeah, it wasn't doing the twisty thing, and that was kind of concerning. But having it in water for a little bit did help, and I did a little bit of warm water, which made the ink be able to seep out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the nib size is on the side of the nib. It's a fine, but of course, softer, it might be a little bit broader. Anyway, I think we should do a writing sample, and then I'll do 2 writing samples, of course. One with this setting, which is the softer setting, softer, and then a writing sample with the hard setting. Okay, let us do it. Pilot Justus. And this is a fine nib. Now, I haven't like really pressed it, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Allow me, I believe it's azurite is the ink. I can actually probably check that for you. Yep. It is azurite or amazonite. Is it amazonite? Let me write down amazonite. Thought I remember that. Good job, Marley. Anyway, this is like normal writing. Fairly normal downstrokes. And then if I want to go thicker, it does this. It railroads for me. Now, I do not have a lot of experience with this ink, so it might be that this is a very dry ink, which makes it write like that. But in regular writing, I would say it just keeps up. But if I want to press it, it doesn't do that well for me, which is sad. I think if you go really slow, it will keep up. And as you can see, it does go a little wider than the normal writing, like the very simple, no pressure downstrokes. But I was not really impressed with this particular nib, sadly. That doesn't mean I don't like it, because I do like it, but for a nib that claims to be soft, I would say it's not very good at it. And disclaimer here, if you want to try it with a different ink, it might help, but I wasn't like super into it. I do have to say that the feel of the nib is really nice. Like, I love the way the writing feels, because there is some bounce, and if you like that type of feeling, this is a good one for you. Anyway, I'm gonna make it into the hard nib again. And now you can see the sliders all the way over. And yes, every time I do this, there's ink on the slider, but I think that's normal. All right, let's just write next to it, I guess. Pilot Justus. Fine nib Lamy ink with an A. I don't know why I'm so bad at like remembering inks. I think Amazonite is correct because I wrote that down in my currently inked. As you can see, there is definitely difference in the way the writing looks. This is laid on much heavier. That was even still wet. This one, very fine, slightly dry. It isn't awful. I like writing with it. It's a really nice feeling nib. It's smooth. It is very fine, but it is not scratchy at all. It actually performs really well. I don't mind writing in this setting. I also don't mind writing in this setting. What I've been doing is actually putting it somewhere in the middle, just to get a little bit more of a wet experience. But I wouldn't say get this for the line variation. An FA is better, Pilot FA nib, than this one. I think even the soft fine that Platinum makes is better. Do we have any other? I don't think the Omniflex by Conklin is better. But yeah, there's better options for you if you want to flex. However, if you are interested in this type of nib, in this mechanism, just because of its mechanism, this is a really cool pen. Like, there's nothing wrong with this pen. It's very enjoyable to use. It has a good length. Could have been a little heavier, but it is a very comfortable writer. So yeah, all around positive review, but I feel that the mechanism is a little bit of a gimmick. Anyway, hope this was informative. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.